Alright, is this working? Doopy-doo. 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 Excellent connection. Everything looks like it's working. Sweet. Alrighty. Hello. Welcome to Sailwind. We're going to choose a new save slot. We're going to do bottom middle. Yeah, we're going to start at Alank. Mostly clear, stable winds, easy sailing conditions, and we get this cute little adorable boat. Alright, Sailwind is a sailing simulator trade 'em up. It is very, just extremely lovely. Alright, so let's first go through here. It's going to tell you to read this book. Basically, how to control, how to sail, and about survival. We do not need this, and in fact, I'm going to do something I've never done yet, and I'm just going to just kind of toss it away. Alright, this is our boat. I forget what this is called. I think it's a dhow or something. Here we have some water in the back. We have a cup. We have a compass. And a lantern. I'm going to put the lantern up here for now. Let's try to do that again. There we go. I'll put the map up here. Boop. Compass in our inventory for now. Cup. Just drop that there because I want to move this kind of right here. So I can hopefully see it while I'm sailing. Right there. Perfect. Compass comes out. And it goes... Actually, I should make sure I'm oriented properly. And I am. Boom. Compass is set. And we can put the cup there too. Sweet. I've got my boat all set up. Ooh. Scratch that. I do not have the boat all set up. Goat cheese. Goat cheese comes over here. Boom. Sweet. Alright, let's go get some missions. So, like I said, it's a trade 'em up. We have 60 coins. So, yeah, I can't even trade. I don't have enough reputation. Oh, you've got this fancy little art. That's very nice of you. So, starting out, what we're going to need to do is take some missions. So we have medicine to Alnim and spices to Alnilm. So all of these missions are organized in basically how much money you get per, I believe it's per unit. So we get 30 lions for taking medicine to Alnilm. Back here, if we go all the way down, there's nothing to Oasis, unfortunately. But so you can get better single hull trips, but the best value is always going to be up at the top. We have 3 for Alnilm up here. For our reputation, we can only accept 2 missions. So what we're going to do is just do this medicine and spices. Pretty easy. Nothing to worry about. It's pretty easy to choose just because we have so few options, and you know, it organizes it. And for these first few missions, what we're going to want to do is maximize how much money we get. So that's what we're doing. And this is most of what this game is. Well, I mean, this is not most of what this game is. This is the gameplay loop. Is you buy the things, or you accept the missions, or buy the things. Then you got to load up your boat. Eventually, you'll develop like a system for how to load the boat. Currently, we don't have that much, but eventually, we're going to be packing this little thing absolutely full as it can be. The water will be coming over the gunnels. It will be madness, but we'll do it. So yeah. Just kind of go around, picking up the things. I have this fellow. Can I steal your stuff? No, I can't even get into your boat. That's nice. Good job, dude. You're doing great. That little boat just sails around on the where we are going to various places. All right. So we've got our stuff. We don't have enough money to do anything else, and we have food and water, and that's basically it. So let's start off on our journey. Let's untie the boat. The wind is going that way, so if we unfurl the sail, come back here, we're going to need to expand that just a little bit. All right, catch the wind, we're on our way. Here's the map. We are at Neverdin right now. We are bottom left corner there at Neverdin. We want to go to Al Nilim, which is basically due north. Easy peasy. So we're here. We want to go up there. We're going to pass the Isle of Clear Mind on the right. So here's our compass. We need to turn northbound. Alright, there's northbound. Checking the wind. This is actually a pretty good sail orientation for our wind. Sweet. Alrighty, we are on our way. And this is the rest of the gameplay loop. It's a very simple game, but I love it. I love the bejesus out of this game. So, navigation in this game is just one of my favorite things ever, just because it's so simple and it works. So right now, like I said, we're at Neverdin. We want to go straight north to Al Nilim, right? So we're due north. So if we come up to the front of the boat, we can see some islands up there. Up ahead, there's a little rock, and up to the ahead and to the right, there are some more rocks. So if we look at our map, right, from Neverdin, we would expect Gold Rock City to be off about east-northeast, and Isle of Clear Mind to be north-northwest. So if we take our compass, after I've so diligently done that, we look over there, that is north-northwest, and over there is east-northeast. So we can pretty well surmise that that is Gold Rock City, those little lumps out there. And right here is the Isle of Clear Mind. And it's like, there's no moving map, there's nothing that tells you that this is the case. You just gotta figure it out yourself. And I love that about this game. Here we go. So we kind of wanted to sail directly north. We'll pass Isle of Clear Mind, pass on the west side of that, and then Al Nilim should be directly up ahead. Now I have played this game a whole bunch, so I do know what to look for. But I'm also going to be trying to play as I would have in like the first, just starting out, without any knowledge of how to do anything. One thing I do like about this game is something to be careful of as you're playing is weight is a thing. So if you look, I'm standing right here at the tip of the boat, the very bow, and you're just like tipping forward there with the weight. And if I come down to the back, you can see it dramatically changes how the boat sits. Weight is a very big issue with this game, especially as we start loading up this boat a little bit. So right now, the spices aren't very heavy. If we're carrying water or rum or something, we'd want to put those more in the middle of the boat, and light stuff like medicine and spices you put up towards the bow, because, you know, it's weight and balance things. And it also means if you come to the bow to like look or get a sighting and it's already bow heavy, you could put the bow under the water by going to do that. Left to right is also a big thing, so typically, you know, the upwind side of the boat will be up because the wind is pushing on your sail. So sometimes, especially in heavy seas, it might be necessary to move cargo from the downwind side to the upwind side to try to balance that out. Typically, I will stand, especially in the small boat like this, I will stand on the upwind side, and that's usually enough to counteract much of the weight. I realize I'm talking a lot, and I'm talking very fast, considering how much more we have to do before anything really happens, because really, we're kind of done. We're kind of done playing this game for a little bit. We've set up our sail properly for a good crosswind. crosswind catch like that. We've got our course set up to due north. Everything's just going well. If you press tab, you have 5 inventory slots, and green bar is your sleep, blue bar is thirstiness, and yellow, I know my colors, is food. We start off with water and cheese. The cheese does not provide very much food. We are going to be switching to an alternate food source pretty soon. Water, typically, you'll need about 10 units of water per day. The cup can hold 6. We will be replacing our cup pretty soon. Sorry, the cup can hold 3, and we'll be replacing our cup pretty soon with something that does not spill. Because if you fill this up and then you accidentally drop it because you hit the wrong button, you will lose all of the water in the cup. And that's just unfortunate. I have yet to actually starve or die of thirst, dehydrate in this game. So it's not too terribly difficult. But it is very fun and very rewarding. Up ahead we see the Isle of Clear Mind. We can see a little bit of definition in it. Some like, let's see, get on the other side of the sail. We can see some like sand and stuff. I have been there before. There's just nothing there. There's nothing there to see. We might eventually go and explore it, but for these first few days, we're going to be pretty tight on cash. So I'm going to want to try to build up towards that as soon as possible. Goals. Short-term goals. Short-term goals. We need a fishing rod. It's going to be silly. So, alright. Since we're sailing, actually, I'm going to stand by on that real quick. I'm just going to talk about pilotage a little bit longer, just because it's really neat. There's no moving map, obviously, so it's hard to figure out, where you are, especially if you lose sight of your visual references. And for the first bit of this game, we are just going to be staying in this map area. We're not even going to go to Oasis yet. We could, and we might end up doing it in this boat just to see if it can be done. I mean, I know it can be done, just to see how feasible it is. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, how to figure out where you are? Well, we are approaching due west of Gold Rock City, and we are now just east of northeast of Isle of Clear Mind. So we know we're about northeast or southwest of Isle of Clear Mind. So we're right about there, and we're heading north to Alnilam. And so you can use pilotage to figure out roughly where you are on this map. And typically, roughly is as good as knowing exactly where you are. Just because once you find a visual waypoint, or your landmark, or your destination, or something, you can go directly there by just pointing your boat at it, which is really nice. Even when we get to the more advanced areas of navigation, we're not going to find out where we are with very much degree of accuracy. So even with like the best tools at our disposal, or my disposal, how good I am at using them, using the sun compass and the clock and even the chrono compass, like, I would know that I am on the north side versus the south side of this map, and left side, middle, or right of this map, roughly. Like, that is the degree of accuracy you can expect without visual waypoints. But thankfully, as you can see, we are on the far left side of this map, and Gold Rock City is pretty obvious on the coast. So like I said, knowing exactly where you are, or knowing roughly where you are, is as pretty good as knowing exactly where you are in this game. Alright, so I was going to talk about short-term goals. Short-term goals. Typically, how I play this game is I buy a fishing rod, and for the longest time, I am Smeagol. I am eating those fish raw, straight from the sea, digging my teeth directly into the scales. Raw and wriggling, as Smeagol would say. However, I think I'm going to challenge myself on this run, and I'm going to not do that. I will refuse from fishing, or refrain from fishing, until I get a stove. And I can cook the fish properly, like a proper, civilized person. Sushi doesn't count. So yeah, that is my self-imposed limit. So I'm probably going to be using bulk food for a long while, which is going to eat into profits and stuff for a bit, but that's just how it's going to be. All right, you can see we have just passed Isle of Clear Mind on the right. It is now south of Gold Rock City from our point of view, which means we are to the north of it. And if we look up ahead, we can see very slightly on the horizon there is something. Now, Al Nilim is a special island. It's a very special island. You can see around back behind us, Neverdin. It's got this big old rock formation. Isle of Clear Mind's got big rock formations. Gold Rock City's got huge rock formations that are visible from miles away. Al Nilim, or not Al Nilim. Where are we going? Al Nilim. Neverdin. Neverdin's got a big rock. Al Nilim ahead does not have that. What we are seeing is not a big rock formation. That is actually a crane, because that is the biggest thing you can see from the distance for Al Nilim up ahead is that crane. It's one of the hardest islands to find in this archipelago just because of that. It's just so flat that you have to be basically on top of it in order to see it. And we are pretty much on top of it. You can kind of see some more definitions up ahead. If you look, you can see there's that crane, there's something over there on to the left, and there's the general shape of the island up ahead. And that's another part of this game, is just looking on the horizon for these visual cues on what we're looking for. If we enter third-person mode, oftentimes putting something to the edge of the screen makes it a little bit more clear. So if you put it to the edge of the screen, you can see even more definition of the island. So we're almost there. In fact, we're so almost there, I'm tempted to sail directly to it through the night. If the sun sets and I can't see where I'm going, I might just call it a night, weigh anchor, and stop, because that is the safest thing to do. Because remember when I said, if you lose sight of your, if you lose sight of things, you're basically screwed. And that's true. If we tried to keep sailing into the night, and we lost sight of that, we lost sight of Gold Rock City, and then the sun rises and we don't see anything, all I would know is that I'm north of, in this general direction. And that's it. So, especially early game, just starting out, when you can't really afford those sorts of losses, you can't afford to lose missions, you know, better to play it safe. These things are due in 2 days. We're basically there already. We have sailed most of this way in just 1 day, and we have another 2 days to get the rest of the way. So, worst case scenario, drop the anchor and wait. And I think that's what's going to end up having to happen, too. We are right there, though. Like, I can see. I'm pretty sure that's the dock right there. We're going pretty quickly. Yeah, so there is Neverdin in the back. Isle of Clear Mind, Gold Rock City. Now I always like to keep myself situationally aware like that. You know, look back behind you to see where things are. Look ahead. All that sort of stuff. And we, for the longest time in this area, we will never be out of sight of visual waypoints. We're always going to be able to see Gold Rock City for the longest time until, like, the first time we'll lose sight of that is going to be our first trip to Oasis. And I think it's really well designed how that trip goes, and I'm really excited for it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise just yet. Yeah, I can see the island pretty clearly. Currently, it's not quite sunset. I mean, it's sunset. It's not quite a nautical twilight. This is still very civil twilight. Ooh, the stars are coming out, right. Oh, we're already heading due north, right. So this constellation right here is the North Star constellation, and that star right there is the North Star. You'll get very good at sighting this constellation. I also love this constellation because it's also a clock. So right now, like, just by looking at it, you can tell that you're pretty early in the evening because so these two stars right here, the North Star and the dim one, are my clock. So right now it's pretty early evening. As the evening goes on, the star will rotate around like this, and by the time it gets down to the bottom, that's just about sunrise. So you can just look right up at this constellation and see, even without a clock, how far it is into the night. And I love that. It's just very well designed. Alright, we're coming up on our destination. I'm going to also be reasonable and wear a lantern when it's nighttime. It's another challenge, because I'm going to also have to keep myself supplied on lanterns, which is a penalty for sailing at night. Yeah, but we're almost there, and I feel like it would be kind of silly to weigh anchor right here. There will be plenty of times, especially on a trip from or up to Alink Academy, or most likely between Alink Academy and Gold Rock City, that I will choose to weigh anchor at night. In fact, we are getting quite down there in our energy levels. And getting pretty down there in our water. May as well drink. There you go. Now we can see there's only 57 units of water left. Oh, man, I'm not used to how agile this boat is. I've been sailing the sandbook for a while. Alright. Start reefing the sail. So coming up on the docks. So I always like to reef the sail and pull the mast completely taut. It's just a me thing. Then I'll come up here, grab the rope. And we'll come all the way to the far end of the boat, or of the dock. Grab this rope. Whoop. There we go. That way we can leave room for other people. Alright, we are docked. I'm not going to spend my time unloading tonight. It is already night. I need to eat dinner. Let's eat this whole wheel of cheese and go to sleep. The hammock is our sleeping spot. At some point, I'll talk about this, the waking up in the middle of the night. There are a couple things that'll wake you up, but you'll always wake up at a few set hours. You'll wake up before sunrise. You'll wake up at midnight. You'll wake up if your ship starts taking on water, and you'll wake up if your ship hits something. Alright, deliver the medicine, or deliver the object. So, missions have to be hand-delivered to the mission giver. So every town has this little place with the anchor and stars. And inside that place is a guy with this table. Just kind of shove the boxes in his face to deliver them. You can deliver things through walls if you do it right. So I'll try to demonstrate that. So if I grab this, so it's way out in front of me, I come around to here, just kind of poke it through the wall and deliver it to him. Can be useful. Sometimes especially as you get more and more missions, bigger and bigger amounts of cargo that need to be delivered, etc., etc. Currently, we are very limited by the size of our boat. Well, actually, currently we're limited by reputation. We can only take 2 missions for a while. But eventually, especially when we get the bigger boat, it gets quite of a hassle to unload everything and load everything back into your boat. So there we go. We have delivered some things. We now have 105 coins. Let's see. I doubt any of this. Yeah, the shops aren't going to be open this early in the morning. So let's come down here and see what missions we can do. Actually, let's check our reputation. Yeah, we haven't even accomplished the first rank, so we're still going to be two missions. So we can take copper, which is 26. This is a big thing to note. It is 780 pounds. That is a lot of pounds for our little boat. It's doable, so we could take copper and spices to Alink Academy, and that would be about 40-ish lions. We could take medicine back down to Neverdeen for 22 or 23. And another copper. Again, that would be just shy of 40 to do that. We could do 44 to Gold Rock City. It's copper, 780. And medicine. And I feel like this is going to be our best bet. It's going to be heavy. We are going to be basically at max weight on the way over there. So I think... Eesh. What are my other options? We could do that for 32. Yeah. Gold Rock City it is. Let's go to Gold Rock City. In fact, let's just accept these already. Alright. Here's our stuff. So copper is going to be extremely heavy. So I'm going to want that in the center of the boat. Right there. Ooh, and that's another thing. If I pick this up and stand, you can see how much that is affecting the weight of the boat. I'm going to want this on its edge. Let's try to put it... Yeah, let's put it there. Oh, and there's 3 of them too. Boo! 3 is the worst number because it's not very conducive to symmetries. Okay, let's see if we can work this out. So if we put this all the way to the right, like that, how is that? It's about as tight as it'll get. Question is, can I fit this in the middle? No. Possibly. Can I fit the last one on the left side? And if not, I'll have to do something else. Once again, welcome to the gameplay loop of Tetris. Alright, here's how we're going to do this. Yeah, that is not going to fit. Okay, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to move this up. Like that. And we're going to put this one right there. Boom. Whoop. Kind of fell through the dock a little bit. That looks good. You can see already how far down the boat is just from that weight. Medicine is also decently heavy. It's a total of 120 pounds, but I'm okay putting these up here towards the front of the boat. We'll see what else we can buy here. I don't think there's... Actually, I think there is something that I want here, and it is the bottle. Yes, the bottle is here. Okay. We'll also go and look at the market, because it's always fun to see the market in all the different little towns. All this stuff is due in 3 days. We should be able to get it in 2 easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. Our boat is loaded. Kind of thirsty, but that's fine. So let's come to the market and see what people have for sale. You can see, where are we? Al-Nilim. It's the quarry place. That's why so many of the things have copper being sent. Alright, we can buy coconut wine for 7 lions. We can buy dates for 1 lion. Bananas for 2. Over here is coconuts. Coconuts, and coconuts. I do not want coconuts. Especially since I can't even afford coconuts. Alright. Empty bottle for 5 anklines. This is one of the things I want. We're just going to take that. You can buy a fishing rod. Fishing rod is an infinite source of fish. You can buy lamps. They are light. White tobacco is actually going to be extremely useful in the future, but I do not have a pipe with which to smoke it. So, I think I will hold off on the white tobacco for now. You can also buy water. 49 is pretty expensive for a bottle of water, so I try not to buy it here. Or for a bucket of water. So there is empty bottle for 5 anklines, and a bottle of water for 3 anklines. The special thing about these, you might notice it's a little bit thicker than these ones. It's because this holds 10. The bottle only holds 5. Ain't that fancy. And this is the only place you can buy those bottles, as far as I know. I've looked other places, and they do not have them. I have a watcher. Someone is watching me. There's someone watching me. I can tell. Just a quick check that we do not have any retail discounts. So it's probably going to be useless to even try to find other things. So, into the boat. Let's start on our way. What is the wind doing? The wind is not going to be helpful. Okay, so here's how to... So right now the wind is pushing us... We're basically directly into the wind. And it's pushing us into the dock, which is going to make sailing out of here very difficult. So what I'm going to do... Turn the wheel all the way to the left. Get out. And push. This is an extremely valid way of moving the ship. Especially when you get caught on land and stuff. Or in situations like this where it's going to be really difficult to try to get the ship moving. Alright. Ship is moving. Let us extend the sail. Once again, we're basically directly into the wind, which is unfortunate. But one of the great things about this ship is it has great upwind sailing. So all we have to do is turn it just a little bit. Once we catch the wind, we can get on our way. Speaking of, on our way from Al-Nilim to Gold Rock City, it's going to be... There's west, southwest, it's west-southwest. I mean, we can see it. It's right there. So we'll just head in that direction. But it's always good to check your map and your compass. Correction, southeast. I always get east and west mixed up. Alright, the wind has caught our sail. We are moving. We are going to be going slower because we are heavy. We're also going to need to let the sail out as we turn to let it catch the wind a little bit better. Alright, there we go. Sailing in the right direction. You're sailing east-southeast. Almost on the dot. In fact, I'm going to turn a little bit to the right. So that way we get east-southeast. Anytime I'm going to a place, I always try to err on the side of being upwind of it. So that way I just don't have to deal with trying to sail into the wind. These ships do great for sailing into the wind, but it's still slower than sailing downwind. And you can see we've got a decent clip going. And again, this is... So we have... Let's see, what was that? I wonder if I can see. 780 plus 120 is 900 pounds of cargo on this ship. You can safely carry about 1,000 pounds. So this is just about the maximum weight we can safely carry. You can carry more. I have carried more, accidentally. But it is sketchy. And you basically have to hope to not encounter rough seas. Thankfully, rough seas are pretty uncommon in Alank. Oh, water. Alright. What I'm going to do... Ooh, how am I going to do this? Okay. Let's fill that up. So it's 47. I want to get it down to an even number. So let's drink 7. I think that was 7. Or that was not 7. Yeah, that was 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. So it should be 40. Good. Perfectly round even numbers. We do not need this cup anymore. Go away, cup. We could use some more cheese. Now, I'm just trying to think. So, stove is going to go there. And then fish hooks and firewood could go there. Yeah, that's a good setup. And that'll leave this spot open for me to stand. Cool. Stoves a ways off. Stoves are 500 coins. And we're gonna we're gonna need our money for actually trading too. So stoves are gonna be a ways off. Ooh, here's a good, this is probably going to be a good indication. If I go up to the very bow of the boat, how low in the water that bow gets when I'm standing there. This is something to think about. If I had moved this box up to where this is sitting, it would be even more extreme. It would probably be taking on water. It's one of the things, that's why I was so particular about organizing it at the very beginning of the game, is I was like having the needle of the compass aligned with the axis of the ship so I know more directly which way I'm facing, which is always nice. Makes navigation a lot easier to do it that way. I love the look of this. I just love the look of the ships from Alank. Them triangular sails, though. It's delightful. In Alank, or in Gold Rock City, we'll see it's the main city of this region. It has the most to sell, and it also has the Sandbook, which will be our target ship. It's kind of foggy. That's interesting. Off to the right, we can see Isle of Clear Mind. Looks like it is due south of us. Almost. No. Yeah, that's not... So that is not Neradine, where we started. I believe that is just the other ship, because that ship sails between Al Nilim and Neverdeen. It goes back and forth and back and forth. That might be. Alright, that is... What is that? South by west, west-southwest, somewhere around there. No, yeah, that's the ship. You can see it's moving to the right as we sail left, which shouldn't be happening if it was an island. That right there is Isle of Clear Mind. It is due south of us. So once again, looking at our map, we can know we are due south on the line between Al Nilim and Gold Rock City. We're right here. Seas are getting a little rougher. If they get too bad, we might actually have to reef and set anchor, unfortunately, just because we're so heavy today. One thing you can look at in the logs, so it's fun, is the daily receipts. So we can see we have earned 45 lions on missions, but spent 5 on that bottle. You can also see all time. Trade receipts will happen once we start trading. Right now we are just doing missions, which is different. Oh, nice! You can actually see the mission history. I've never actually looked at this log before. Yeah, there is a storm coming. Or not a storm, at least it's a windstorm. It's definitely something. At least, you can hear the wind, which is nice that it's a tailwind and it's blowing us towards Gold Rock City a bit faster, but I don't like that it's going to be kicking up bigger and bigger waves as we approach. I do not expect to get to Gold Rock City today. We will end up having to drop anchor. If I was lighter, I might consider sailing on through the night, just because that's a great way of covering distance. But since we are so heavy, if I tried that, I'd very much run the risk of getting caught in a storm unwittingly and bad things happening. I've yet to capsize or sink a ship, and I plan on keeping it that way. Yeah, looking off behind us, we can't even see. Oh, you can kind of barely see Al Nilim back there. It's mostly the fault of the haze. It's not actually too far away to see. Oh, my one watcher left. Sad day. See, that right there might be Neverdeen. We'll probably be back there soon. Typically, Gold Rock City to Neverdeen to Al Nilim and back is a good cycle. I've noticed going to Albacore Town. Albacore Town wants to send things to Alchemist Island, wants to send things to Albacore Town and back, and it's not very profitable. Equally, this route can be okay, but again, the issue is, so Neverdeen and Al Nilim are decent-sized settlements. There's typically a decent amount of missions. Alchemist Island is 2 huts, and Albacore Town is like 5 huts. So it's a bit... It's just a bit more limited. And when you go to Albacore Town, I just recommend not going there with anything bigger than what we have. There's the storm! Oh, look at that beauty in the back there. Yeah, so that's what a storm looks like on the horizon. You don't want to sail into those things. They are very bad. they do adjust the main. So each region or each little part of the world has general winds that happen. Storms, however, will absolutely affect that. So like right now, that storm is actually, yeah, 'cause that storm's blowing us basically due west. Okay, so it's not too terribly far off. The winds in the south are typically between west and south, which always makes going either west or south a pain in the ass. Sorry, pain in the butt. In this region, so sometimes storms can help out in that way by giving you different winds. But again, the Dow is pretty good at sailing upwind, which is nice, and we will definitely see that when I go to Alank Academy. Coming back to Gold Rock City is typically mostly upwind. Going Alank Academy anywhere to Al-Nilam or Neverdeen is always going to be upwind, so that's why I never do that. I always go to Gold Rock City and then take more missions from there. And here we are getting those waves from that storm there. Getting a little bit of rain. Thankfully, rain does not damage cargo. You can see the moon rising. The moon does go through phases, full phases. I've yet to see an eclipse, unfortunately. I don't think... So I think the moon and the sun cross the sky in slightly different tracks, so eclipses don't happen typically, which is unfortunate. You can kind of see how dangerous rough waters are for us right now because we have so overloaded the boat. Which is why when the sun does set, which is getting there, I'm just going to drop anchor and wait, sleep out the night. Quick position check. We are west-southwest of Isle of Clear Mind. Or sorry, other way around. Isle of Clear Mind is west-southwest of us. Neverdeen is southwest. So that's southwest, and that is... No, that's southwest. So we're going to be right around there, about halfway, it looks like. It's hard to see, and I wish by picking it up I could, like, point to different things, but that's just not... It's not in the cards for this game. The controls are simple, which is nice in some ways, and less nice in other ways. It's a lovely storm. Thankfully, we've avoided the brunt of it. Alright, sun is setting. Waves are kind of rough. Neverdin's sinking off into the horizon. Alright, let's deal with this, yeah, because we're starting to get tossed around just a little bit now. Alright, there's that. Come around to the anchor. What you can do is you can keep releasing the anchor until you hear the grind, or just release it all the way. There's the grind. I'm going to release it all the way. It will give more leeway to the boat, and it'll probably change our orientation a little bit based on the wind, but there we go. That's just something I do. Alright, quick cheese for breakfast, or dinner I guess. Couple sips of water. And we get to sleep. And yes, you will sleep underwater sometimes. You notice we sleep a lot slower when we're not tied up to a dock. It is not actually getting less quality sleep. It just takes longer. I'm guessing it's because the game is calculating like the ship's, all the forces acting on the ship, or it doesn't do that when it's when you're at a dock. All right, let's wake up when we've waken up. And look for, there's the North Star constellation. So, get up on top so we can actually see it. Also, the moon is very bright right now, and it's lovely. Actually, there it is. So you can see how easy it is to lose landmarks at night, and which is why I typically don't sail at night. But if we look north, we can see that that's off to the left there. So you can see it's just about midnight because it's those two stars are up and down at evening, and then this way just before sunrise. So that's just what I wanted to show you. Let's go back to sleep. The winds are calm, the storm has left, but I'm still not going to be sailing at night, just on principle. We need our rest anyway. Alright, we have been woken up. And why is that? It's because it's just before sunrise. We've slept long enough that I feel like I'm okay with starting to go. So let's pull up the winch and pull up the anchor. All right. On principle. Gotta do that anytime I'm sailing at night. Okay. The winds are unfortunately not great for the sail, so let's pull the sail tight a little bit. We can catch the winds, so once we start going forward, when you can turn around, Once we turn around, we'll now be getting better winds. You can see already the horizon is lightening up because of the sunrise. And if we look to the north, those two stars are basically right up and down. All right. Back in the swing of things. And there we go. That should be good. We could use water. And maybe another cheese. A little breakfast cheese. Based on the wind flags, that sail is pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You can see, believe that's the Isle of Clear Mind. Yeah, that's the Isle of Clear Mind. Way over there, you can see Neverdeen. You notice you can't see behind us Al Nilam because it is such a flat island with no landmarks. You just cannot see it. So being able to see those little specks on the horizon is very important for this game. As you'll see. Like that right there should be considered, in your mind, to be a pretty obvious landmark. That is not an obvious landmark. That is like a very... like, you shouldn't need to rely on being able to see that little speck right there. If you can, that's great, but don't expect that you're expected to do that. You should be expected to notice that, though. It's a beautiful sunrise. Goodness gracious. I might pull my sail just a little bit more. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll easily be pulling into port today. As you can see, we got to from Al Nilam, so probably about here, somewhere in here before you dropped anchor, which just goes to show how far you can sail. We did have a storm behind us, which helped us a lot. Like we had some pretty stiff tailwinds coming this way, because that is farther than I've considered myself expected to be able to sail in a day. Isle of Clear Mind and Neverdin have both appeared to have sunk beneath the horizon. Might notice I'm aiming for between the two rocks, or the between the rocks. That is intentional. As we get closer, you'll see that the city is right there. Yeah, you can see the walls just kind of popped in. But that's the city right there. It is kind of on the south shore, right here, between the G and the O. Ooh, direct tailwind. Let's loose that sail. Give us the full power of that tailwind. Yeah, you can see the city a little bit more clearly now. Excuse me. Another thing to note. Excuse me. Sun rises due east. Solar noon happens when it is due south. And it sets due west. So that'll come in handy when we're doing more advanced navigation techniques. Yeah, I might honestly buy a separate compass, because I like having a navigation compass, but I also like, pointing my compass at things. Oh, the wind's changed. Okay. Fine. Pull the sail a little bit. Give us a bit better angle on it. Honestly, I think it might be better. I think we need to flip the sail around. Is that right? No. No, that's not right. Alright, coming towards port. We'll start to see some of the uh, perils of the sea. Or not Alchemist Island. Albacore Town was the worst in this area for like sandbars and shallows and awkward sailing bends and all that sort of stuff. But there are some shallow spots. They are thankfully very well marked with posts coming into Gold Rock City. Another thing to note while you're sailing, just kind of forgot that right now, is if you do a full deflection and then let go, it will, like the wheel will steadily return to a neutral position. That is not the case if you don't let go. If you don't let go, it will maintain whatever setting you currently have it at. So I always like to try to get it close to being neutral again and then let go, because then it'll stabilize. Alright, so there's things on my shopping list. First thing, the main thing, is getting the sandbug, because that will drastically increase our shipping capabilities. However, that is going to be pretty far off. I think before that happens, I might end up getting a stove, which unfortunately is going to take about $500 off of my sandbuck budget. Currently, what we're going to need is more food, because this cheese is not going to last us too terribly much longer. And I think we're good on water for now. There's another 4 days. I might get a second barrel of water just to shore up our supply. Honestly, looking at this, because like water, the water, secondary water storage, food, secondary food storage, I'm not sure I have enough space for a grill, which means I might have to wait on getting a fishing rod until we get the sandbug. We'll see. It could be fun to try to cram it all in here. Alright, welcome to Gold Rock City. It is gorgeous. Over there you can see, so this is like the walled section, there's a little temple there, but that's the actual town that we can go and visit. You can see the masts of the sandbook there, and then the docks. Probably getting to... Yeah, it's a little past solar noon right now. So we'll be able to go in, drop our cargo. We'll probably not pick up the missions until the next morning. So I'll drop the cargo and then go poke around at what the merchants have to sell. Just getting an eye for it. We will be able to buy things after today, or after this mission, I'm pretty sure, based on our reputation. However, our discount will be 5%. So we'll see if it's useful to buy things. But I doubt it will be. And here we come in to Gold Rock City. It took me way too long to realize it's called Gold Rock City because the rocks around it are golden. Ooh, another thing to note while I'm thinking of it. If you go into third-person mode, you still move yourself around. So, like, if I stand up here, go into third-person mode, and then move left, I will fall off. Another thing that's nice about this game, you can always swim faster than your boat. Sometimes it takes a bit of doing, but it is possible. Alright, we're going to pull into Gold Rock City. We're going to swoop around so we're facing the other direction. We're facing west as we dock. So our starboard side will be up against the port. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. It's just easier to it's easier to get out that way in my experience. Take a picture, because that is gorgeous. I love the aesthetics of this game. It's just so pretty. Alright, we're going to come around. I need to pull our sail taut. Come on. There we go. Keep coming around. It's going to be a bit of a bonk. Pull into port. We still got time. There's the copper. And medicine. Alright, we're not even going to look at the things they have to offer, because it's not going to matter. Let's look at tobacco. White tobacco for 76 and 24. There's about 100 total for the pipe and everything. I want to see if there are... Not sunspot fish. Dates are alright. Coconuts are expensive. North fish? No. Grain? Definitely no. There's no pork. 400's not bad. Not even close to enough. Fishing hooks. So tempting. It's 8 lions for 20 fishing hooks. It's so cheap. So cheap. But nope, I'm not going to Smeagol. Alright, here's our maps. Let's look at the oceanic map. We don't have to look at it. So down at the bottom left is all ink. It's where we are. You can kind of see the same formation. And those are the other 3 locations. Asterin, Dragon Cliffs, and then there's Happy Bay in the middle. We're not going to buy this yet. These are our navigation instruments. Spyglasses I will not get for a very long time. This is going to be my best friend at some point. But until that point, it's going to be the chronometer and the sun compass. With these 2 things, you can figure out basically where you are. Honestly, I kind of want to sail to Fort Asterin using only a sun compass, because it is possible. Probably not well encouraged, but it is possible. Alright, we might pick up a lamp hook at some point, but I'm not too set on that. Goat cheese for another 67. That is expensive. Rum we don't want. That's water. It's water. I do not see pork, which is unfortunate. They do not sell pork here. Do they even sell sausages? Are you sausages? You're not sausages. But you're selling sausages. You're selling cooked sausages. Where are... I want sausages. No sausages? Okay. That's fine. Cool. So there's nothing that I really want to buy then in that case. So let's, actually... Okay, so we're going to need food at some point. That is something that is true. Where were the dates? Dates are right here. I wish I could see how many dates were in that box. You're selling cooked lamb? But you don't sell bulk lamb? Alright, I'm going to talk to this guy. See if he sells pork. You're selling lamb for 89. That's not possibly... not too bad. You do sell pork. It's 125. Goodness gracious, that's expensive. Alright. Alright, I'm not buying anything just yet. Man, I might need food, though. 51 lions! 51 lions for dates! That's most of a fishing rod, and I could just be Smeagol. I could just be Smeagol and get free food straight out of the ocean for so cheap. Why is food so expensive? Arg! Okay, we'll deal with that later. Alright, because it's currently 400. This is the cheapest I've seen this stove, honestly. 416 says 450, plus the fishing rod's about 550, plus that. So yeah, it's about 550 lions to get started on my food production. And that's definitely worth it. Damn, it's just so much money. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to ignore that. We have enough food and water for 4 more days, which is enough to go out and back to somewhere. That's not enough. Alright, let's buy some water. Let's buy some food. I'm paranoid. 25 lions for some water is not bad. Put her there. Food-wise, you're all about to go away. 67 for some more cheese. 51 for dates. The issue is you need to eat a lot more dates to fill up. Sunspot fish is not bad, but I need to cook it. You know, I've never done bread before. See how this goes. I've never bought the bread. Let's buy the bread and see how it works. Okay, we're not too poor. Okay, so that's enough food. This is hopefully 2 to 3 days worth of food. That's a whole another 6 days of water. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's do the sleeps. In the morning, get more missions. Alrighty, where's north? There's north. It is a little bit before sunrise. That's fine. This guy's always open. What do you got for me? You want to go to Albacore Town. Goods to Albacore Town for 48 lines is pretty good. You can also take medicine. Copper. Copper to Albacore Town. That is probably not going to happen. I can take 3 missions now. Oh yeah, with the goods, 320 pounds, 160. This is just not happening. That could happen though. Let's do that. Let's do goods, which is goods are. Hopefully they're in standard boxes. Yeah, standard boxes. Medicine, 4 standard boxes that'll easily fit. We cannot take the copper, but we can take the black tobacco. Yeah, okay. I was blind for a second. All right, black tobacco to Albacore Town. That was a lot of boxes of black tobacco. All right, let's load this all up. Get on our way. In fact, be true to myself. That is not the best load. We'll deal with it. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. Sometimes that happens because so there are 2 different like realms of physics. There's in the boat and not in the boat. And sometimes when you're not in the boat, the game thinks you are actually still in the boat, and that's when stuff like that happens. It's not ideal. I can't think of what it's getting caught on. Oh well. Let's stack this stuff up. I've kind of got a system. If you play this long enough, you will also have a system for how you load your boat, what size boxes, whether they're heavy or not, where it all fits, etc., etc. Okay, this is going to bother me. So what I'm going to do is move these back. I'll fill in those spaces with the little boxes. And I also like always having access to the sail winches. No, bad. Okay, let's reset you. Blah. No me gusta. Come on. Sit. Sit right. Be normal. Ugh. It's normal-ish. There we go. Yes, yes, I know I'm being a little bit OCD about it. But it's got to be symmetrical and beautiful. Alright. So there's our mission. We're going to Albacore Town. Before I leave, let's see, going to Albacore Town, if there's something good. So we can get coconuts for 16. Rum for 12. Coconuts is still winning. Pork for 27. Pork wins thus far, if I can afford it. And I can. Gems, no way I can afford that. This is all going to be expensive stuff. Pork wins. Alright. Buying a single pork. Get a receipt. Pork is great for provisions, by the way. I'm just going to put that right. No, let's not. Let's put it in the back. Pork is great for provisions because a single pork will basically fill you up for the entire day. It's really efficient that way. It's expensive, though. Alright. There we go. There's our stuff. Let's get underway. Goodness, we are already super low in the water. I am glad I didn't even attempt to take the stuff. Alright. As before, hard left. Let's get out and push. Boom. Alright, we're on our way. Let's hop up. Let's try to get some wind in our sails. My guy's complaining about starving or dehydration. Okay. Alright, Gold Rock City to Albacore Town. I need to sail southeast. Which I'm already pointing southeast, basically. It's very convenient, that. Looking at the wind, we could probably afford to do that to our sails just a titch. Something like that. Up ahead, you can see those sandbars that I was talking about. But once again, they are pretty well marked with the posts. Goodbye, Gold Rock City. We will meet again. That, by the way, we'll take a closer look at that. That is our future and final ship. That is what we will be doing the triangle trade with. It's not triangle trade. That's slavery. It's the trade winds trade going up to from Al Ankh up to Asterin down to the Emerald Isles and back. Alright, so I need to go basically due southeast from here. So let's orient ourselves properly. Doo-be-doo. Something like that. The rudder will self-center. It's basically a due crosswind. So let's spread our sails just a tad more. About that. And we're on the way. Let's eat some cheese. Alright. Sailing away for Gold Rock City is always going to be slightly concerning because if you can see ahead, there's nothing but the flat horizon out there. So it's always like, am I going the right way? It's easy to think you're lost, and especially going in this direction, because unlike going this way where you're like, oh, I know I can sail basically west, and as you can see, like, you can see Isle of Clear Mind and Neverdin from like way out here. So those visual waypoints are pretty like obvious. But it's like entirely possible if you sail like due east from Gold Rock City to just not see anything. So, you know, it's always slightly concerning. What I'd always do is I just, you know, check my direction. And in this case, if I was going to err, I'd want to err on the side of south, because that way I have a better chance of seeing something, right? If I err to the side of the east, it's possible that I just don't see anything. So, let's sail slightly south of southeast. Something like that. Nope, too far. Too far. Let's go back the other way. Oh, we're getting the weird physics of leaving. Yeah, sometimes there's weird waves outside of Gold Rock City and I don't know why. Alright. Something like that. A little bit south of east. Come on. I said a little bit south of east. It'll probably help if I pull the sail taut a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's too far south of east. There we go. And then at some point, up ahead, we should see Albacore Town. Should. Like they could make the boat rock by just moving from side to side. Rock the boat. Rock the boat. Rock the boat. Rock the boat. So, I guess I can talk about loading the boat while we've got time. If I can help it, I try not to let anything go above the gunwale. That is not always going to be possible. In that case, my next limit is everything goes below the sail, so I can fit one of these small boxes on top of like these things and those things. Sometimes that will not even be possible, and in which case it's just stack them up and try to make it even and not too tall. In emergencies, you can fit another small box right there. Typically what I'll do is horizontal small boxes there and there. Medium boxes can fit on their sides like this. You can also fit them like lengthwise on their belly this way, in which case you can double stack them. And that can sometimes offer a little bit more room for small boxes up in the bow. Small boxes or medium boxes here in the sides there. And then once you're back here, it's basically free for all. I typically like to put them up on their sides, which leaves a little path in the middle. Particularly heavy boxes will go in the middle, stacked up. Even though that can limit access to the winch, I can always crawl over the cargo to get to the winch. Barrels are a little bit fun. Barrels can fit side by side to right here. And that's about as far forward as you can fit two by two, unfortunately. And then you can do singles up. They can fit 2 by 2 all the way back here. You can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 about back here before you hit the wheel. You'll learn. You'll learn how you best like to load your ship as you play. I have certain ways of doing it. And you're going to be loading and unloading your ship somewhat frequently, so... I think I'm a little bit nose heavy, so I'm just going to try to stay as far back in general. It's like even if I come up to like the middle of the ship, you can see it's nose heavy. And I could always move things backward, but I was like having a little bit of space back here just for myself. Like if I wanted to, in this case, I'd probably move these to be back here. Speaking of, I can move these forward a little bit. I mean, I could. There's not really reason to. In fact, I can move them back a little bit. There is reason to do that. There we go. I don't like how much space there is between these two, but unfortunately, this is kind of how it has to be. These are just going to sit up on the little brace there. Tis what it is. Actually, we're still going in the right direction. Good. So, in this heading, I should expect to see Albacore Town somewhere off heading to my left. And Alchemist Island heading to my right if I ever get that far. I think I can extend the sail just a little bit. Something like that. You could get a chip log and like figure out the exact optimal position to put the sail. What I tend to do is I just try to think of like the wind is coming and I want to deflect the wind backwards, right? So I just try to like align the flag with the mast and then have it be a reasonable slope. And it works out pretty well. I get pretty consistent speed with these things. How long have I been going? An hour and 40 minutes already? Goodness gracious. How long has it been? We're on day 4. Nice. Oh, we can see trade receipts now. We bought 1 pork for 128 lions. Of all time, you can see the 128s in bulk food. We have bought our water. Bought a little bit of food and other items. We are in the hole from the start of the game. But just because we have this thing now. And hopefully when we get to Albacore Town, we can sell this for more than we bought it for. Thus begins our initial trade 'em up. In fact, when we do the missions, you can see we're getting like, you know, the low dozens of lions per mission. You can get a lot more than that. So like this trade, I think was going to be what, like 40 lions for just this one box. Whereas I might get 40 lions for all of these tobacco boxes. Tobacco boxes. Tobacco. Another thing to note, missions and cargo pull from the same pool of objects. So if you want to do missions, if you want to prioritize missions like you're building reputation, take the missions first and then fill your cargo hold. If you want to prioritize money, buy, like, you can use the missions to see roughly what various cities are wanting, but what you want to do is buy cargo and then take missions to go to that city that you're taking that cargo to. Because sometimes, like, if you're like, oh, I can do this mission that takes books to Neverdeen, and books are super expensive at Neverdeen, so you buy all of the books, and then you look at the missions, and the mission is gone because you have just bought all of the books. if that makes sense. Alright, welcome to the gameplay loop. We are approaching the end of a full day's sailing. And I expect it'll take a little bit longer than a day and a half to reach. Oh, well, there it is, right there. We can see it now. Cool. Let's change course. Yeah. It's going to be a bit longer than just the one day, so we'll end up probably casting anchor and snoozing. There it is, dead ahead. What is that? It's just north of southeast. Good to know. So if I'd gone directly southeast, I would probably have run directly into it. But I always like erring on the side of, if I miss, seeing more visual waypoints. That's basically the key for leaving Gold Rock City. Like, it is intimidating because, again, there's nothing up ahead. Just kind of have to hope. But get yourself pointed in the right direction and be confident that you will see what you're looking for. I mean, so long as you actually look for it. And another thing is, don't sail at night if you don't know where you're going. If you don't have a very clear indication of what's happening, and you're confident, and you're not confident that your boat will literally hit it if you pass, don't sail at night. It's just so easy. I think that was like the very first game I played. I tried sailing at night, and when the day came, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't even see Gold Rock City, and I had no idea where I was, what was happening. It was a mess. No idea how to even get back to where I'd come from. So I just had to start a new game. Thankfully, I'd done like 3 missions. I think it was like Neverdy into Al Nilam, and I took some missions to Alunk Academy. And I sailed north. And I probably just sailed past Alunk Academy. I just didn't see it at night, and by the time I'd woken up, I was out of range of Gold Rock City's sight. Not a good feeling. Thankfully, you can see Albacore Town dead ahead, which means somewhere off to over in that direction is going to be Alchemist Island. But we're probably not going to see that until we sail towards it. And I probably guarantee that Albacore Town will have missions towards Alchemist Island. And maybe even some goods to carry. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, there's not much by way of goods leaving Alchemist Island that we can carry, so we're just kind of stuck with missions out of there. Like right now I probably could just sail on into the night, because I'm pretty sure we just bump into the island. But I'd rather not. We have 3 days. Tobacco's due in 3 days. Medicine's due in 3 days. We're fine. We do not need to go do stupid things. That should be enough cheese, right? Yeah. That should be enough cheese. Yeah, the sun is setting on this glorious evening. Sailed a good ways out from Gold Rock City. There's the moon rising over Albacore Town. Honestly, this time, like these twilight times, for me, are the times where it's easiest to see landmarks because they're silhouetted up against the sky. So right there, off to the right, you can see, at least on a clear, or on a calm sea, you can see something over there. What is that? That is freaking... Okay, that's southwest of us. Yeah, so that's gotta be... Yeah, that is Alchemist Island. Way over there. You can see there's kind of two little points. Was one point just there. Yeah, that's Alchemist Island. And it's that twilight time that makes it the easiest to see, for me at least. And as we get to more, it's like crossing the big blue ocean, and you'll see my method of navigation, and part of it involves checking something both just after, or just before sunrise and just after sunset. It's basically sighting the North Star with the sextant to see what our current latitude is. And so that's always a good time to just pay attention to the horizon. Alright, I heard the crunch, which means the anchor has hit the ground. Quick check on our vitals, we're good. Time to sleep. And we got the North Star constellation right in front of us for us to see for the see the clock, basically. It's not quite wake up time. Goodness, what is happening? Oh, yeah, we got a little bit of water in us. Why are we getting water in us? I do not know. Let's try giving a bit more anchor. we're gonna move this back. I think yeah, there's a storm coming. Oh, boo. I also forgot to turn off my freaking lantern while I slept. So it's down to 77%. Alright. Unfortunately, times have changed. We need to go sailing at night. I don't want to be here when that storm hits. I want to be in port. I can see the silhouette still on the horizon. That's good enough for me. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Our sail is still set properly. Good. Let's move. Let's try to move these up a little bit. So that way I can move these up a little bit. There we go. We could use some cheese. Use some water. Yeah, that is a big storm. Thankfully, we're almost-ish to Albacore Town. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine if I was trying to carry the copper as well as all of this stuff. You know, because it would have been these 4 big boxes, some of these little boxes, and the copper. And I would be at the bottom of the ocean with these waves. Alright, let's the waves will change the orientation of your ship, so during stormy weather, got to maintain a more solid hold. I think that storm is getting closer too. Yeah. Hopefully we can beat it. Hopefully we can beat it to port. Bit of a physics glitch there. can see some of the silhouettes of the houses there on the island. Yeah, that storm is basically on top of us right now. Goodness gracious. Alright, keep going. Keep going towards the island, please. Oh boy, this is going to be intense. Alright, so... Albacore Town has got the most treacherous waters coming in. So doing this under full sail is going to be pretty intense. Trying to winch the sail up against the power of the wind is also not working out well. The waves are going to make this even worse. So let's do about there. Here we come. The storm is actually on top of us now. But thankfully, we're in the sheltered harbor of Albacore Town already. You can see how much the waves affect the level of the water. All right, and we're in port. Excellent. The wave actually lifted us over the level of the dock. That is crazy. Yeah, Albacore Town is just a little town. That's why it's called town. If you get the sandbuck, I would not recommend pulling it into Albacore Town. Just avoid Albacore Town. Just because getting it in is okay, getting it out is nearly impossible. Because you got to turn that right turn, and the sandbuck is just not very good at that. I mean, I'd probably do it on stream at some point, just to illustrate how tough it is. But what you're gonna need to do is push the entire ship back, and either all the way back out of the bay to maneuver, or back far enough that you can make that turn. Lovely weather here at Albacore Town. At least the storm appears to be mostly past us by now. But what I can do, it's not ideal considering the my budget issues. But what I can do is just stay here and wait for the storm to pass, even if I have to leave tomorrow morning. All right. So there's all 3 missions complete. Last thing we need to do is take this thing of pork. Put it there. And sell the pork. So now if we check our log, we can see if we go to all time, we spent 128 and we sold it for 177. That's about 52 lions. Which is about half of all of those missions. Just that one box of food. Alright, we got tuna up here, sunspot fish. Let's see what other things are for sale up here. We got more fish. Temple fish, gold albacore, tuna, temple fish. And that is it. Welcome to Albacore Town. This guy is very angrily looking into this window. Kind of want to see. It looks like there might be something behind this rock. Nope. Very, very angry weather. Yeah, the storm has passed us now. At least the bulk of it is. So I feel safe. Kind of getting low on food. What missions do we have? We have seafood to Alchemist Island, lamb to Alchemist Island, and tuna to Alchemist Island. That'll be a total of 40, about 50-ish. You can see tuna to Oasis is 90, but that's a long trip, and I don't want to be making that. Alternatively, could go back to Gold Rock Island, but there's only the one thing, 2 things, yeah. A couple places to Alchemist, Al Nilim, which is a long, long journey, and I don't want to make that. If I'm going to make that, I'm going to go Alchemist to Neverdin to Al Nilim. So I see seafood to Alchemist Island, lamb to Alchemist Island, and tuna to Alchemist Island. So if we go over here, lamb to Alchemist Island, we can see we can make 44 per bucket, right? Versus the 20 from taking 5 buckets of lamb. So yeah, you're not going to be making much money doing missions, but the importance of missions isn't making money. It's getting this retail discount. The more missions we do, the more retail discount we get, the better our prices for doing trade. Also, we can now take 4 missions. And now we're getting into the problems of we have a very small boat. This is a very small boat. So, what we could do is seafood to Alchemist Island. Seafood's in small boxes, I know that. Lamb's in normal boxes. So we could do 5, I know that'll fit. I know that'll fit. Tuna, 4. Well, we can look over here. We know tuna is in a normal box. So that'll probably fit. And then sunspot fish, which we also know is in a normal box. So we could do all 4 of those missions. It'll fit in the boat. We might not have room for personal buying things. However, I want that discount. Where is it? Reputation. I want that discount. This goes up to 25 at the higher levels, but 15 will be nice. So until we get to 15, I'm going to prioritize missions. So let's take the seafood. We'll start with the lamb and the tuna. And we'll do seafood, and we'll see how well that all fits. It's due in 2 days too. Goodness gracious. Okay. In fact, I'm going to try doing it the other way. The way I said earlier, which is this way. Boom. Because I think then we can fit stuff on the sides too. That's a pretty good stack. Pretty good. Pretty good. Sweet. I like that. Ooh, that was a big thunder. Those are pretty close together. I'll take it. Let's use some of this. Actually, let's fit the big boxes first. We've got 3 more big boxes. So I think I know how they're gonna have to go. Yeah. It's not much of an option for it, unfortunately. It was kind of like right here. Edging it forward. Boom. That's pretty good. And the last box. Hopefully there's still seafood in the market that I might be able to buy. 'Cause that can always fit. These little boxes can fit anywhere. These waves are still nuts. There we go. Alright, I can get 1, 2, 3 more little boxes, or I could probably fit 1, maybe 2 medium boxes. Or a bunch more if I want to. Alright. I'm going to look first. So lamb, I know, to Alchemist Island. It's 44. Alright. 44 is our baseline. $47. Good. Excellent. So I know I can fit at least 3 of them in. So let's buy 3. Not enough money. Excellent. Let's get that receipt. Let's go. Oh, excellent. Okay. Not enough money. Goodness gracious. I am poor. I am poor, poor, poor. Storm's gone. It's fine. I am happy. Alright. That's that. I'm out of money. I've still got my bread. I've still got some cheeses. My boat is pretty nose heavy, not gonna lie. But it is what it is. That's just how it's gonna be. What we're gonna need to do is... Actually, what I want to do is turn that all the way around to the right first before lowering this. But the wind is kind of pushing us into the thing. Yeah. Alright. Full left, what we're going to do is push the boat backwards. Or at least try to push the boat backwards. Is this working? No, it's not working at all. Alright, reef the sail. Let's try this again. Stop it! I want to be under the boat. Not on top of the boat. No, not on top of the boat. I want to be under the boat. Thank you. The game sometimes is very physics happy. I kind of just fell through the floor there. Excellent. I'm on the ocean floor. Perfect. Is this not working? Okay. Take two is grab this, put it there. Should still be pulling. Good boat. Good boat. It's the power of elastics. Alright. Now, full right. Unleash this. There we go. We're moving. Trying to. The waves kind of got us grounded a little bit. You can see how much trouble this maneuverable boat is having to get out of this place. Alright, there we go. We're free of the dock. Just have to get around this little spit of land. Okay. I said around this spit of land. Next wave will push us up. There we go. I'm going to have to tighten our sails quite a bit. Alright, just about there. Alright, we're going to sail up a little bit. Let's pull it all the way tight. Alright, while we're sailing away from Albacore Town, we know we want to go west-southwest, which is going to be basically 90 degrees to our right. Alright, west-southwest. I'm going to turn into the wind, and then once we're into the wind, we'll just be tacking upwind, which again, the Dow is pretty good at. It also means we will be sailing somewhat slower than we would otherwise be. Alright, we want to be going in this direction, right there. You can see our boat does do it. We're not going the speed of light, but considering we're basically sailing pretty much into the wind, like the wind is coming from that direction. Pretty good. Alright, I'm going to sit at the back of the boat. Oh, right. My guy's complaining. I need more cheese. Sufficiently. I've subsisted entirely on goat cheese for the past, what, like 4 days, 5 days. We have 2 cheeses left. Which means hopefully in, I don't think they have food at Alchemist Island. That'll be fun. Man, we are dead into the wind too. That is not good. See, sailing west always sucks because of that fact right there. I'm going to keep on this heading and hope that the wind doesn't change. And, since we're just starting out, or setting out, and I know that's about a full day's sail, what I'm going to do is sail through the night, just to show that it can be done. A storm has just blown through, so hopefully we don't get caught in a second storm. You can see the waves are kind of pushing us a little bit more north than I'd otherwise like to be. But I think that's fine, because another thing is, as we sail this direction, I know that if Gold Rock City is due north of us, we're going to be in roughly the correct position to see Alchemist Island to our south. So when I go to bed, if I wake up and I don't see anything, that will be my primary source of navigation. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to sail due west, because due west from here, I know I'm going to end up to the north of Alchemist Island. So that way, if I don't see it when I wake up, and Gold Rock City is to my north, I know that if I sail due south, I should find it. That will be it. Let's go to sleep while sailing. And immediately, we're taking on water for some reason. Man, why did our boat just jump out of the water like that? That was strange. Okay, let's go to sleep again. Hopefully that was just a physics glitch. And it appears to have been. Alright, it's the midnight wake up. If we look to the north, yes, it is midnight. Let's do a quick look around to see if we can see anything. Gold Rock City is not due north of us, so we haven't sailed too far yet. And I don't see anything on the horizon, but it's also very dark. So, back to sleep with us. And we're awake again. Gold Rock City is basically due north of us, and I think I see that to the south. I think I see something to the south. We'll do a set a course for south. Of course, the winds have changed now. Yeah, let's just sail due south, because I can't sail southwest, unfortunately. Alright, what time is it? It is... Can't get a good look at the stars. Yes, it is almost daytime. Let's pull out our lantern so we can see. Yeah, it's going to be... Oh, there it is. You can kind of see it against the sky there. More water. More cheese. We have one left. Which means what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out. Put it there. Let's kind of chuck that off into the sea. And yeah, there's Alchemist Island. And that is not an island, that is the setting moon. It's very easy to confuse. Yes, dead ahead is Alchemist Island. Hopefully those breads are very good at filling me up. I'm hoping they're as good as pork. But even if they're not, they should be able to get me back to Gold Rock City. And by then I might have enough money to buy pork itself. Although, I'm not sure the pork can be cooked. Like, I've had mixed or like not successful attempts at cooking the pork in such that it actually cooks. So considering that the alternative is that it's just raw, I'm gonna actually stay away from pork, as delicious and filling as it is in this game. It's gonna be porkless. And we are not sailing very quickly at all. It's not only are the winds basically head on, but they're very calm winds too. What I'm gonna do, let's give ourselves a bit more of an advantage with the winds. Aim for this side of the island. And as we get closer, because the dock is right there, you can kind of see it. It's right there. So once the winds are up ahead of that dock, that I can then turn in and probably skirt along the shores of this island, coming in dock facing to the right. What do these do? Those are due tomorrow. Good. Got plenty of time. And that, in my experience, the missions do give you plenty of time. Unless you get, like, severely lost, you're probably going to be fine. Typically, I just pressed M for map. That's not this type of game. Typically, I do single destination missions. Unless it's like, if I'm up here... No, it's not even... This is... Alonk isn't a great place to explain it, but it's like, if I'm at Neverdin, Heck, even Alchemist Island. If I'm at Alchemist Island and there's missions for the Academy and Neverdin and Al Nilim, I might take all three and then just like drop them off and then pick up like when I get to Neverdin, pick up missions for Al Nilim and the Academy, and when I'm at Al Nilim, pick up missions for the Academy. So it's like kind of do a swoop up. But typically, you need the bigger boat for that because you just need the extra cargo space. Because this little dinghy, as you can see, can't carry all that much. Alright, the trick is to figure out roughly when to turn. And typically, when I'm at a good tack, when my destination is 90, or when the next good tack is 90 degrees to the right, that's when I personally do the turn. Because typically these boats can handle a 45-degree headwind pretty well. Sometimes it's hard to eyeball it. Yeah, I think I didn't give myself enough distance. Alright, I need to do a bit of pushing. Here we go. Let's get it moving again. Yeah, you can see you can go into the wind. It's not very fast, but it's possible. You will make progress. Alright. I'm going to basically want to go right up against that coastline, as I had previously planned and then completely didn't do that plan. I think a cheese. cheese was good. We now are down to the 3 loaves of bread. Which hopefully are extremely filling loaves of bread. I mean, they look extremely filling. Look at how big they are. Those look very filling. Oh, that's still not great. Why does it feels like the wind changed? When I was sailing that way, it was much more from that heading. Goodness gracious. Okay. How much am I wanting to just push the boat into port right now? How viable is this? I've never done this before. Let's see if I can sail a bit more in this direction. And then turn the boat into the wind. As long as the wind direction doesn't change, we should be able to sail straight into port. This is the problem with going southwest, especially in Alank. There we go. That's a decent angle. In fact, I can even pull the sail out just a tiny bit. Get a little bit of a scooping action in. I think that might be too much. Let's pull it in just a titch. There we go. Yeah, trying to sail southwest is a pain. North, perfectly fine. East, perfectly fine. Southeast, South is terrible. West's terrible. Southwest is especially terrible. Yeah, like this right now is due west, and see we're like into the wind. Like we're making progress, but it's not very fast. And it's the same with south. You'll make progress, but it's not very fast. And for southwest, you kind of have to crab unless the wind happens to change. What's it called? Tack. Yeah. Tacking. Crabbing is when planes do it. Keep stepping up onto that chair, which is not ideal. I'm gonna dunk right. Yeah. Right on the tip. Thankfully, the rope will pull it. Thankfully, the rope should pull it. Okay, maybe the rope isn't going to pull it. There we go. Now the rope will pull it. Just scrape it along the dock like Galaxy Quest. Alright, Alchemist Island. Welcome to Alchemist Island. This is Alchemist Island. This one building. This one shop. They sell bottled water and energy elixir. Oh, and snake oil. I don't know what snake oil is for. I've never actually bought snake oil. It'd be kind of funny if it was just like, it did nothing. Because it's snake oil. I think the energy elixir would give you energy, but again, I've not actually bought it to try it. Typically, the way I play the game at least, if you wake up at dawn and you sail all day and you go to sleep at night, that's as much energy as you need. Sometimes you'll want to sail on a little bit into the night because you know, you're right at port and you don't want to drop anchor and spend a whole night. In which case energy can come in handy. I'm going to be using tobacco for that because tobacco does that sort of thing. Because again, it's a challenge. It's a challenge run for me. Mission complete. Don't I have something? Yeah, this right here needs to go. Because I now no longer have any food. Well, except the bread. The bread. Nope, I ate the last cheese. So yeah, I literally just don't have any food anymore. Alright, seafood can just kind of drop there in the sand. One thing you can do, I'll do this, is kind of like chuck it up the thing. Chuck it up the dock. And it makes it easier to unload because oftentimes you'll notice there's like a bit of a delay when you're trying to pick something up from the boat. So in my head, this streamlines it to do it this way. Even though it's probably not much of a time difference. Come on, there we go. Alright, there's all my missions done. Sell the seafood, get that receipt. And just a quick check. Spent 247 and got 332. It's about 100 lions just for that one trade. We're still at 4 missions. Medicine to Neverdin. It's pretty good. Medicine to Al Nilim. It's also good. I could do both of those, honestly. We don't have anything else going to Neverdin, unfortunately. And if I remember correctly, there is nothing here. Lamb. Could buy land to Neverdin. Buy a lamb to Al Nilim is actually a pretty good price. Water sucks. Rum sucks. Beer could be alright. Spices to Al Nilim is a good price. Medicine to Al Nilim is good, but I can only buy one of them. Books to Al Nilim is also good. And tobacco. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do... This is the only food here. Lamb is pretty good to Al Nilim. So I think is medicine... Oh, that's... Yeah, I'm going to Al Nilim, not Neverdin. Al Nilim, spices to Al Nilim, lamb to Al Nilim. Do I want to just make a direct break for Al Nilim? That could be good. That's northwest. That's going to be decent winds if I do it that way. All right, we have... I could take this mission and just drop it off because we don't have anything good to go to Neverdin, I don't think. Beer. One medicine. I could buy one medicine to Neverdin, and that would get me a hefty profit of 177. My alternatives would be nothing. My alternatives would be buying a bunch of lamb and stuff. Okay. I think... It's getting night. That's going to be a 2-day journey. Unless I sleep through the night. Or sail through the night. That's 5 boxes of medicine. What is medicine? Medicine is a small crate. Excellent. 5 boxes of medicine, 4 boxes of medicine. That's 9 small crates. These come in barrels. That's 5 barrels. And these are regular sized crates. That's 5 regular sized crates. That will fill up my boat. Very full. What is our reputation? We're looking pretty good. One more trip and we'll have a 15% retail discount. Medicine. Medicine. Spices. Lamb. This is going to be tricky to put it all in there. That's for sure. Let's do this. Oh boy. This is going to be tough. Is it possible to go all the way back? Do I want to go all the way back? I kind of do. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Let's see if we can replicate that magic on this side. Oh. Oh. Just a little bit. Kind of not ideal. Very not ideal. Okay. Take two. No, that's terrible. That's somehow even worse. That's even definitely worse. Okay. That'll do. Okay. One more little nudge. Boom. That'll do. This is gonna... Oh, I'm filling up. Okay. Doing the wrong things. Okay. Spices. Spices are gonna need to go in here. I think I can still fit 2 by 2 abreast in the space remaining there. Just barely. Excellent. Okay. Pretty good. You know what? Back here. It's perfect space for 2 barrels of spice. I still have no food. And the only food this place sells is lamb. Plus, I'm going to be spending that money on medicine. It's a lot of medicine. Okay. So we got 2 more buckets of lamb to deal with. We have already put in all of our barrels, which means that it's actually a pretty good setting. Where is number 2 gonna go? I'm gonna put you... How's that go? I can't squeeze through you, so it's not. don't know why that grabbed that when I clearly didn't grab that. Okay. Let's move you outside. Let's move you back up. In fact, I might be... No, I kind of want it to be up against that because I think I can fit some of the little crates in there and that extra space. So let's do that. It's not ideal, but it will work. Alright. Now, we have like 17 little crates to deal with. 2 are going to fit up here, easy peasy. Character's probably exhausted, yeah. Cool. We're really going to have to cram these in wherever they can fit. I bet you I can get these to kind of slide down. Kinda? Maybe? No? Okay. Yeah, I'm asking too much of the physics. Okay. That's what I was hoping for. Let's do the standard setup of just putting a little box on top of each of the sideways boxes. Doing never done in 3 days. You know, if I were smart about this, I would have put the medicine going to Al-Nilim in first. Yeah. Alright. This can definitely fit into these little cracks. I can guarantee it. Nope. Come on. Come on! It could totally fit. You just gotta wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. That's one thing, that's one feature I wish this game had is like jiggle the boxes just a little. Alright, so it's not happening. In which case, this needs to come down here then. In fact, I bet you if I put you way off to the side like that, I might be able to fit a second box in there. Alright, we're looking for Al-Nilim's first, yes. And we'll put Neverdin's on top. Unfortunately, we only have 2 days to get to Neverdin, and then an additional day to get to Al-Nilim. So we are going to be kind of tight on the schedule. Which means I definitely can't afford to sleep tonight in dock. I'm gonna need to start the sailing. I'm just gonna kind of pop Neverdin there. Right on the bow. Alright. We have space for 1, probably 2, maybe 3 pieces of medicine, but I think I can only afford 1. Yeah, I can only afford 1. And this is going to Neverdin. Alright, let's go. Let's the wind doing? The wind is blowing us away from the dock, which is going to be extremely handy. Alright. Our course is Alchemist Island to Neverden. That is west-northwest. We'll pass Lion's Fang pretty close on the left side if we do this properly. There we go, west-northwest. We can adjust the sail a titch to get that crosswind going. There we go. I'm going to save off on the bread. Let's sleep. We're going to be a little bit behind on our sleep. Oh, what's happening? Is this just the midnight wake up? I think this is just the midnight wake up. Kind of jumped the gun. No, this isn't the midnight wake up. It's a little bit past midnight. I forgot to turn this freaking light off. Alright, back to sleep. Alrighty. Welcome to being awake. And all that time... Oh, okay, so we still can see it in the back behind there. There's Alchemist Island. Up ahead, that is Lion's Fang. Because way up ahead, you can kind of see it on the horizon, is Neverden. So let's make for Neverden. Alright, that is a good angle. Unfortunately, we don't have that much. Alright, let's see how good these breads are. I'm hoping for very good. Oh no! That was not very good, game. What? Oh no! Okay. Well, at least Neverden is just up ahead. So, of course there's going to be a storm. Why wouldn't there be a storm? I'm going to drink. Cool. I guess I'll eat one of these. Because they're absolutely worthless as food. Yeah, that sometimes happens when you try to throw something out of the boat, as it goes the opposite direction of how you threw it. We do need to be going west-northwest and not due west. And unfortunately, there is a storm back there. Because of course there is. Why wouldn't there be a storm? On the day that I'm rushed to try to get to my locations. I was thinking of sleeping more to catch up on my sleep, but honestly at this point I think it's probably best to try to outrun the storm. I hope that the storm will pass behind us, like it's caught in the wind and it's going to go towards Gold Rock City there. You can kind of tell why that island is called Lion's Fang there. Because it looks rather like a lion's fang. Alnilim in 3 and Neverdin in 2, yeah. So we got some time. Let's move you to the back. There we go. Alright, it looks like we're pulling ahead of the storm. I'm poor. -13. Food, other items, bunch of bulk food, bulk goods. See, we haven't made that much money for missions. Missions aren't where you make the money. Okay, hopefully we can be at Neverdin by tonight. In fact, what I'm going to do... I'm going to do a quick little nap. So that way, I can have energy for being at Neverdeen. I can unload, potentially load, and then move on to Alnilim. Alright, where are we? Gold Rock City is... Okay, Neverdeen's just ahead. Is that... Just quick check. Gold Rock City is east-northeast. We are currently sailing north or west-northwest. North-northeast. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. So we are right around there. Which makes sense. We're stuck between Lion's Fang, and Neverdin. Of course that's Neverdin. That can't be, anything else. Because Isle of Clear Mind is there. And then to the north of Isle of Clear Mind is Al Nilim, which doesn't have big prominent features. So this has to be Neverdin. And I believe Neverdin is on the north side. You can see the other boat over there. I'm going to go around to the right. I think last time I went around to the left of Neverdin, and it turned out that was the longest way around. Jeez, I've been at this for 3 hours. This game gets away from me. Oh, there's another boat right there. So there's 2 little boats out here sailing around. It's not just me. Guess I'll eat another worthless piece of... Unfortunately, I think they don't have... Or they only have not raw food up at Neverdin. This could be Trixie. Trixie Hobbitses. We'll see what food options they have. Hopefully Al Nilim has like dates or something that I could eat. Oof. That was exciting. That is one thing, when you take on water, it's not because your gunnels actually went below the water, it's that there's like a water line that is the actual water line that is typically below the animated water. And that's what it calculates how you, when you start taking on water. We'll see in our transoceanic crossing to Asterin. I've never done that crossing. Or any of the transoceanic crossings without taking on some water at some point. Typically it's several points. So it's going to be tricky because in order to get to that dock, we're going to have to sail basically directly upwind, it looks like. I might just have to get out and push. We're almost there. I've got a lot of energy left, so I can do the thing and then start sailing towards Al Nilim. Then I should probably stop streaming for the day, because it has been 3.5 hours of doing this already. And I'm what? Well, this is day 7. I told myself I would do a whole week. I didn't realize a whole week would be 3.5 hours a game. Time does fly when you're sailing around. I think I'm already as taut as I can be, yeah. So that's about it. Let's try getting out and seeing if we can help it along by pushing. Not sure we're doing too terribly much to help out. Still going along at a decent clip. All the markets are going to be closed when we reach... Never did. I mean, probably. That's enough food to get to Al Nilim, right? Come on, go faster. All right. We're swimming a little bit. Because I just need to... No! There was no spot to tie up there. Ugh, all the markets are closed already, I'm pretty sure. I need to run. Need to run. Ah, they're all closed. Damn it. Okay, well. No sense in worrying about it. We'll do the stuff we need to do. If we don't have bulk food that we can buy, then we will do without food. Although I can't afford to chill out here. Because all this stuff isn't due in Al Nilim for another 3 days, and I know I can easily make that journey. Easy peasy. Alright, medicine comes out. Might as well deal with this first. You go there. Let's sell the medicine and get the receipt. Alright. That is Al Nilim. That is Al Nilim. That is Al Nilim. Al Nilim. Neverdin. Pretty sure these two up here are Neverdin. Yep. Al Nilim. Neverdin. And Al Nilim. Neverdin. Alrighty, that means all we have left is going to Al Nilim. We can buy dates. Could buy goat cheese too. Dates are smaller, but goat cheese is a known item. Bananas are an unknown item. And that's it. Alright. Dates are cheap. And they're compact. Uh, 12 goat cheese, I think, was about 6 days worth of food. Yeah, I'll just buy the goat cheese, honestly. Alright, let's load that in the boat. Now we have food. Oh, right. Right. Okay. Let's take you and put you up here. Let's take you guys and move you up a bit. Which will leave room for you to go up there. You can go over there. This spice bottle can go up there. Which leaves room for you right there. Boom. Okay, we have a little bit of room. When I say that, we could take 2 barrels, 2 medium boxes, or a bunch of small boxes. So what missions do you have going to Al Nilim? 5 water barrels. Can't do it. Lamb, 1. Doable. Rum, 5, not doable. Lamb, 1, doable. Okay, let's get that loaded in. It is also due in 2 days. Fancy that. I'll put it here. Okay. What else we got? We're going to Al Nilem. Dates, worthless. Coconuts, worse than worthless. Lamb, we could take 1. Tuna, we could take 1. Of those, tuna is the way to go. Water, we could take 1. Water wins so far. Water. I think I can only take 1. Let's try. Where else might I fit a barrel of water if I was to try to take one? Nowhere is the answer. I could probably fit one right there if I wanted to be really squeeze myself in. And let's do it because it's worth the money. 1 more barrel of water, Captain. Let's get a receipt. We're going to really cram ourselves into this boat. All this junk. Boom. Like a glove. All right. Let's get out of here. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Alright, the wind is blowing us backwards, which is fine. Nope, other way down. There we go. Alright, due north is our course. Alright, there we go. Due north. Got ourselves a nice tailwind if we could deign to use it. Right there. Alright. That said, let's take a couple swigs of water if we have any. And a cheese. Turn off our light and go to sleep. Oh, I need to set my alarm. Heck. All right. The sun is dawning. And look at that. There's Al Nilim dead ahead. All right. Use a couple more sips of water. Sun is rising. We still got 2 days. 2 days on all of these missions. Ain't that fancy. I got 2 bottles of water too. I've still got 5 days of water in that barrel, which I can easily, I could make another, or I could make a run up to Alunk Academy and then back to Gold Rock City before this thing's empty. Alright, I'm gonna go do a bit of a half sail. So we're gonna turn right. Gotta catch all of the wind. Sail right for those docks. Hopefully I don't scrape my keel against that sandbar there. Alrighty then. 1 water. 2 water. Most of it's falling into the water. I realize that. It never gets thrown as far as I expect it to. You know, that would have been the smart way of doing it, is just stand in line with it rather than trying to hope. Could you imagine watching this and seeing the sailor just chucking your spices and medicine as hard as they can up the dock? Thankfully, the cargo in this game does not track fragility. I wanted to make sure my light was off. I was just running around with it, blaring. Alrighty, and there we go. All of the missions are complete. And we're at 15% discount. Yay! 15% discount and 5 missions. How much fuel does this thing have? 51%. Still pretty good. I know I've done this before, but I kind of want to see again what people are selling here. Wine, dates and bananas, cocoa nuts, water, tackle, tobacco, some lanterns, the broom. Don't get the broom. At least not yet. Those fishing hooks are so cheap. 53? It's even cheaper here than it was in Gold Rock City. It's so cheap. So cheap. So tempting. Oh, look at it. It's infinite free food. But no. I am not Smeagol. Alright, in fact, I'm not even going to look at things, because I know if I look at things, I'm going to be like, ooh, that's a good mission. Just one more mission. I really need to stop this and head to bed. If you have been, thanks for watching. I plan on continuing this on stream next time, honestly. So we're at 633. The big ship is about 4,000 realistically speaking. So we're well on our way to 4,500. Once I get that, that's when we're going to start doing the triangle trade. Because we want to buy the big ship and equip it for a long overseas thing, which is going to mean buy the big ship, do a couple rounds of Along to pick up some more money, and then we'll be on our way. So we played for 7 days. 7 days, we got a decent amount of money, and we are now going to be starting to make a lot more money, especially once we get the big ship. Which again is about 4,000. So we're, what is that? 20% of the way there. Is that it? Anyway, I can't do math right now in my head. I am tired. Because once we get the big ship, we can carry a lot more things. So we can do all 5 missions, as well as fill up our bay with trade cargo. But that will be in the future. For now, I'm going to sign off and see y'all around at some point. Take care.